Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe and like. Our series begins with Chen running to the hospital to catch up with her father, who wanted to see her because he is sick. She said to him, "Don't you dare die? By God, Dad, if you die, I will kill you with my own hands." And I want to ask her, "But how are you going to kill him, my love? He will already be dead. Are you going to kill him again, or what? This system is not a game of honor of kings. By God, it is only one life." Anyway, he told her to come a little closer because he wanted to tell her something, but suddenly, he died, and they never heard from him again. And here, Cinderella's difficult life begins after her father's death. Of course, her stepmother is the one who will take care of her after his death, in addition to the fact that she has 2 daughters, meaning that her stepmother is not enough for her, but her stepmother's sons complete the list. So her stepmother was walking in the funeral procession, and she was crying. Don't you understand? Does she really love him? Or are these crocodile tears? Let's go back in time 20 years ago so I can make you understand how Abu Shin met this woman. But the truth is that they fell in love at first sight, and at that time, our daughter was barely 6 years old. Of course, they got married, and she lived with him and her children, but at that time, our daughter couldn't eat comfortably in front of her because she felt that she hated her. On the contrary, now after her father died, she was sitting and eating hysterically as if she had never seen food before in her life. And this is almost the shocking effect, is that we don't all have to grieve in the same way. Some people cry, some people get depressed, some people sit and eat a lot. Everyone has a way to express their sadness. Our daughter was sitting and eating. Her father's wife was crying and saying, "Where will I go after you, old man? You're the one who took over the house. You left me and went away. Why did you sit and cry?" Because honestly, and the truth must be told, she loved Abu Shen, but she didn't love our daughter Shen at all. So our daughter decided that she had to leave this house as soon as possible. She entered her father's room because before he died, he told her, "I have prepared an important gift for you in my drawer." She went to see what this gift was and took out a letter from him in which he wrote to her that she had to work in this particular hotel in order to meet a rich groom who could take care of her and provide for her. Because if she kept working all her life, she would die early like him. She had to depend on someone and not live alone. So she decided to listen to his advice and do so. Another place specifically in Jungle, and you will ask me why they called it paradise, because the hotel has everything you can imagine, and most importantly, it brings money. So anything that brings money becomes paradise. And of course, the owner of this paradise is the handsome crowned prince. Of course, you will think that he is a successful person and stuff, but he was born in a golden basket, meaning he does not work for any of this. And he sees that everything is at his feet, even money, to the point that his assistant came to him and told him that the hotel's profits decreased by 200%. So he told him, "No problem, we are rich anyway, so if we keep thinking a lot about profits, we will become slaves to money, and we are not slaves to money. Money is its slave to us and in our hands." And it tells us, "Your youth, at your service too," meaning this guy is ultimately a narcissist who does not know how to be humble, even in front of the idea that he must work in order to make profits. Thinking that everything she is so lenient, it is not a good thing. The next day, our daughter woke up. She found her friend talking to her and telling her that Farah, their friend, was going to work at the Cheongdam Hotel. She felt that this was her chance, and finally, she would enter the paradise that everyone was talking about, because of course, only the rich and the society's description would allow anyone to enter the Cheongdam Hotel. At that time, our son was inside the hotel with an umbrella, thinking of himself walking on the sea, and what was his assistant telling him? "This is what your highness has done to yourself." So he said to him, "I am a pasha, the son of a pasha. You can't enter like this. You must have entered to be different." Suddenly, he saw someone holding flowers and going towards the bride's room in which she was being photographed. Frankly, he intended evil because the bride remained his lover. He was trying to kidnap her from her groom, but Shaman was about to save the situation with the umbrella and held it out to him on his face and side until he fell to the ground, and the bride thanked him. To save her, then the joy began, and the bride was inside, and her father was greeting her. To the groom, our daughter had a strange feeling because she was like her father would be present in her wedding too, and hand her over to her groom like that, but it was not written for her to stay. As for Shaman, he was sitting looking at the girls, and he saw them as just stones. As for them, they were sitting looking at him and trying to smash him. But don't be surprised. For him, any girl is a stone, because they are all trying to get his attention. But it's him. I don't care about any of them. I mean, who is the other? At the end of the joy, he was sitting cleaning his stick. I don't know yet why he was walking with it. He was treating her like a queen and kissing her and saying something important. The important thing is that the scarf with which he was wiping the stick left the edge of the air, so he didn't care and walked away. But by our daughter's luck, it hit her in the face. The first time she saw the hotel's logo on it, she felt like luck had struck her. She decided to take the scarf with her her, but she couldn't wait to rejoice. Dope. When she came back, the house was visited by her father's wife, who told her that she was pregnant. Oh, my heart aches for you. She is still pregnant, not to mention that her father left behind nothing but debts and a child. This means the disaster became two disasters, and the bank seized their house, and they literally slept in the street until one day, her father's wife decided to hold a class where she would learn Egyptian dancing and anything to earn money. She barely danced and then fainted and went to the hospital because she got tired, as she was at an age where it is difficult to get pregnant. When our daughter went to see her, she apologized and said to her, "I know that what you did was very bad, but I am sorry. By God, you are the only thing left for me after the deceased." Our daughter felt guilty and that she had to take care of this woman and her little brother, who had not yet come into the world. She sat thinking about what she was supposed to do and decided to apply to the hotel that her father had told her about. She actually applied there, but her goal was not work. Her goal was to find a rich groom, so she preferred to diet for 30 days and take care of herself in order to go to the interview. She was on the 10th, and finally the long-awaited day came. And when she got there, her friend sent her a message and told her that the first person she throws her shoe at will be the one who gets the evil eye. She looked at the shoe while testing it, but she found it fell backwards on the stairs, so she ran down to get it. But she found Ashman holding it and going out with it, so she said, "Play. Life has started to laugh at you, my boy." I found him telling her, "I will spend it with you." I thought he wanted to flirt with her and tell her he would sue her for stealing my heart and stuff, but he told her he would sue her for attempted murder. The girl went into shock because her shoe fell right on his head. Who was this animal that was trying to kill me? But she told him that she didn't mean to because her shoe fell, but he is paranoid. He remembers that everyone wants to kill him and steal his wealth. He said to her, "Listen, tell me from the end, how much do you want and who sent you to kill me? Because the thing I fear most is death. It is not right for me to die and leave all this glory and luxury by me." She said to him, "Are you sick or what? I advise you to go to the psychiatrist at the 6th district to evaluate your condition." "I did not mean to," I said, but he was determined that she meant to kill him. She said to him, "So if a bird did that to you, would you think that the bird wanted to kill you back or wanted to take revenge on you?" He said to her, "Yes, because I am very lucky and it is impossible for something like that to happen to me." She said to him, "Well, I will show you what it means to kill someone on purpose." A small amount of money went by, but she quickly grabbed him and said to him, "This is called assistance, and I saved your life. If you see and complain about me, I will not solve it." She took her shoe and left because she had an interview behind her, but oh, joy did not last. The crow took her and flew away. It turned out that he was the manager of the hotel. He said to her, "Do you see? How did you fall into my hands? I won't have mercy on you." She said to him, "Are you happy and you treat me like this just because you're the owner of the hotel?" He said to her, "Yes, the subject is very interesting," but she decided to show him the secret weapon, which is to pray against him, and said to him, "Oh God, let you die happy and lightning strike your name's body, and you die electrocuted like this." Of course, he was afraid of her, but he tried to forget her because he felt that she was crazy. But when he went out at night and returned, his employees were wondering why he was always holding the umbrella. One of them said that he was afraid that someone would kill him and stab him in the back, so he always held it as a precaution to protect himself, which is, my son, no one cares about killing you. By God, the universe doesn't revolve around you. Anyway, he went outside and there was lightning and thunder. He got scared and went inside quickly, but he remained unable to sleep in the hotel all night, and he felt that she was next to him everywhere, and this was frightening because she refused to leave his mind. He was wondering what happened to him. The next day, our daughter was drinking her favorite drink, and the latte was about to find the guard calling her and saying, "Congratulations, you met at our company." So she got up startled and said to him, "What happened, God? Make it good. What happened to you overnight? Weren't you saying yesterday that it was impossible for me to hire you?" He said to her, "Frankly, I felt that you turned out to be congratulatory, and I was afraid that your prayer would bring results. So come work with us, and we'll be done." She said to him, "It's clear that the saying, 'Every evil person destroys those more evil than him,' turned out to be true. Wait for me. Tomorrow will be our first day together." He was embarrassed by the sentence, and from the second day, he suddenly prepared himself and said to himself, "I'm only teasing her to show her how cool I am, not to impress her or anything. You're an idiot, my son. The two have the same meaning. You're going to show her that you're cool, and you're going to impress her." Anyway, our daughter arrived at work and found him coming down wearing the belt of Saif el-Din Qutuz. She was going to die laughing at him, but she tried to act nicely so that he wouldn't fire her, so he said to her, "You don't have to fake it. I mean, you're nice, and you act normally. You can say whatever you want, she said to him. Are you sure? Anything. Anything. And she went and said to him, frankly, this belt you're wearing will make any girl run away from you. I say, take it off because you look like a bandit. He took it off quickly, feeling that his ego had fallen to the ground, meaning he didn't expect her to criticize him like that. He thought she would faint as soon as she saw him. It was clear. Then she went in so that the employees could get to know her, and he said to them, I was sitting around having fun, so I said, I'll hire a new one so I can have some fun. So let's hold a welcoming party for her. They were sitting and singing, and each one was saying his dream. It was her turn to say, what is her dream? She said, my dream is to be Cinderella. At that moment, he looked at her, literally smelling glass, looking at the vile one, which is, you want to get married? He couldn't stand her anymore. Then, when she went into the office with him, he said to her, I wasn't. I know that you are like this, and all you care about is marrying a cheap groom, and that's it. She said to him, because my life is hard. You have never lived in poverty like me. But he did not feel it, and said to her, by God, it doesn't matter to me. I have changed my mind, and I don't want to employ you here. But she insisted that she must stay, and even if she beats them, they are not allowed to throw her out. So they decided to play wrestling and drink, and whoever loses has to do what the other says. They actually went to play by the river, but he won because he is stronger than her, but she won him in drinking, and he could not drink together. So she said to him, you see that I am stronger than you mentally, but your strength is in your body, not more. He said to her, okay, I will employ you. Do not cry. She was very happy and said to him, look, let's sign a contract to make sure that you will not throw me out. She barely signed the contract and got into a tight spot. She had drunk enough, so she wanted to go to the bathroom and die. He, my dear, got nervous for her and said to her, take care of yourself, okay? And do it here. What is it? There is no bathroom nearby, and the bathroom is far away. She needs to run to reach it. She reached it, and she will do it to herself if she runs. So she told him to walk from here, because she does not want me to do it in front of you. But he did not want to walk and leave her alone. So she told him, it is more honorable for me to do it to myself without you seeing me. So he actually walked, but he suddenly came back and gave her the umbrella. She held it and carried it and ran with her to the bathroom like a savior prince after he was just a narcissistic man who enslaved her. Thank God the situation was resolved. May God not let you fall in a minute. After that, she came out of the bathroom, thanking him because she did not expect him to be so generous. But suddenly, Donna, his fiancée, entered and said to him, I did not find you at the hotel. So she said, I used the GPS device for engaged people to find you through it. Our daughter was shocked when she knew that he was engaged. I mean, he was laughing at her all this time. She thought that they might have a violent love story between them. So she told them, see that. Excuse me. I don't want to disrupt the lovebirds. But Achaman told her to wait, but she had already left. Of course, he was upset with his fiancée because she ruined the day. He was happy while sitting with our daughter because she is lighthearted. The next day, our daughter was entering the hotel normally until she found our narcissistic son calling her and saying to her, wait here, you who? We're going to do this to yourself yesterday. She said to him, brother, may the house of humiliation be destroyed. This is the end of whoever falls in front of you in a minute. He said to her, what? You don't intend to thank me? Even my leg cracked yesterday since I carried you. She said to him, by God, I wanted to thank you, but your fiancé came, and I didn't know how to thank you in front of her. He said to her, why? Did you think you could make me fall in love with you if I didn't have a fiancé? She kept laughing and said to him, it is impossible for me to fall in love with a mentally ill person like you. He said to her, this mentally ill person is the one who employed you here. She said to him, exactly. That's why you're mentally ill. No one would agree to hire me in a company like this. But suddenly, she realized what she was saying and quickly shut up and said to him, look, I can work for you, yes, but I know how to love you absolutely. Then she entered the hotel to start learning the job. The employee was telling her about the children's corner where they play because she would come here often. But she found our narcissistic son playing there because he thought he was a child. May God bless him. Then he took her to introduce her to the rest of the places in the hotel until one of the guests came and told her, you look new. She told him, yes, that's true. But our narcissistic son came and told him, it's new and hasn't even come out of the oven yet because I will train it myself. He took her to actually train her, but his fiancé saw them walking together and felt jealous. As for our son, he took her to the laundry room to show her how he washes the curtains. She told him, MashaAllah, you look very strong because, do you know how to wash them with your own hands? He said to her, no, I am not the one who will wash them. You are the one who will wash them. And you think that you will work in the hall outside before you learn the job well? Come on, employee, work. When he went out, his fiancé came in and said to her, I heard that you want to marry a rich man. She said to her, it is clear that the rumors are everywhere, but his fiancé fiancé said, I told her that if you really want this, then you have to go and work in the wish wing. There you will meet the rich man. As for our narcissistic son, he was trying to find her any silly job so that she would not meet the people outside, and one of them would fall in love with her, which would drive them away in the end. Then she went up to the roof to hang out the curtains, and she had put her AirPods in her ears. But when our son came up and saw her happy like that, he wanted to know what she was listening to. He wished he hadn't heard, because he suddenly turned on a +18 ad, and it became a scandal. When she tried to pull him away from him, she dropped her phone, and he said to her, You are a pervert. What are you listening to? She said to him, By God, you misunderstood the matter. It's not as you think. I am honorable, sir. At the end of the day, after she finished work, she went to the hospital to visit her sister, but she told her, Excuse me, I have work to do. I will call you later. Her sister's friend took our daughter aside and said to her, Frankly, I like your sister and want to propose to her, but I need to know her finger size first. She decided to help him and go get him her ring that was in the house because she felt that her sister needed to get married and find her luck instead of trying with all her might to pay off her debts at the same time. When she gave him the ring, he gave her money to thank her. Instead of doing something useful with the money, she went to a charlatan and asked her to make any rich man fall in love with her and change her fate. The next day, while she was entering the hotel, our narcissistic son arrived and came down to her. Why did you come so early? She said to him, So I can finish your laundry and go work outside and welcome the guest. He said to her, I don't know why I was afraid that you would go out and work with the flu, but anyway, none of them will fall in love with someone like you, so you can receive them normally from today. Suddenly, she approached him and yelled at him and said, You are joking with me! At that moment, his heart beat. He was acting like a tough guy, and there are no two of him, and it is impossible for him to fall in love with just one girl, but with every move she makes, his heart beats. He said to her, Don't you dare come near me like that again, because you smell bad. He went inside, and she kept thinking about how she smells bad. She took a shower and washed her hair, but she decided not to pay attention to him because he was trying to annoy her. She took out the paper on which she wrote her ideal type in men, starting with looks and body. When she tried to bring the paper, she touched his body, and honestly, he was a guy like the moon, and her kindness in men was exactly as she had written on the paper. At that moment, our son was standing watching the scene. The sight of this guy, the cutie wanted to read what was written on the paper, so she quickly pulled it and the button of the shirt fell. She kept apologizing to him, but he told her, It's not a problem. I was the one who tried to turn it off and read what was written on it. But she promised him that she would put the button back on for him. He refused because the matter was easy for him and he could do it himself. As soon as she gave him the needle, he took it and the thread, sewed the button, and put on the shirt and jacket. Nothing had happened. He is not only handsome, but he also knows how to help himself. Anyway, our daughter stayed with him to try to take care of him and get to know him. She asked him, How old are you? He told her 30. She gasped and said to him, How is that? Someone like you can get 20 at most. He told her, I don't think so. I drink and smoke. I think my age shows. You're the only one with pretty eyes, and you see all people as pretty. And of course, she wanted to know who he was and what he did for a living. So he told her his name is Jung, and he works as a movie director. She was shocked because she knew that name well, and that he won an award for the youngest and best movie director for a famous movie. So he told her it's clear that you love movies. So she promised him that she would take care of him during his stay there. But he told her, Unfortunately, I won't stay here because they only accept people who have a membership in the hotel or have an invitation with them. So she stopped him suddenly and said to him, Don't worry, I will take care and make them make an exception for you. And at that moment, our narcissistic son was in his office, and his fiancée was there, saying to him, I wish the Cinderella who works for you would find the love of her life and leave from here as soon as possible. But he was upset because he saw her in the morning with Jung the director, until she came and told him that this director wants to stay here for a while, but he doesn't know because he doesn't have a membership. So he told her to put him on the waiting list, but she refused and told him he is very famous, so we have to make an exception for him. And even his fiancée felt that she admired him, and he is the person who will take her out of here and get rid of her. So she told him, I also think you should kiss him since he is famous. So he told her not to go out, just because we are talking about work now. And at that time, our daughter put her reading from the click and told him, You don't want to kiss him, so that you don't see me turning into Cinderella, and I can escape from here. Let's compete and see if I can make him fall in love with me or not. So he told her, You are really annoying. Okay, fine. I will kiss him until we see how it ends with you. And of course, she went to tell Jung the news, so he was happy. And at the end of the day, he was going to ride his car outside, so she walked beside him, planning to make herself a hit so that he would catch her and they would fall in love with each other at first sight. But our son suddenly came to Jung and said to him, I heard that you made an exception for me. Thank you very much. He extended his hand to greet him, but our son refused refused to greet him. Young went out, a little embarrassed, but our daughter looked at our narcissistic son, and she couldn't stand him. In addition, she found him suddenly coming after her, so she said to him, "Why are you clinging to me?" He pushed her and said to her, "I told you smell bad. Stay away from me." So she unintentionally made her fall into Jungkook's lap, and then Jungkook held her and said to her, "By the way, you smell nice, and take care of your hair, because it might get on your tongue. So thank you, our son is great." He brought them closer together stupidly, and even the next day she was changing the light bulb, so she was standing on the stairs, but Jungkook came to help her and told her not to come down and carried her and brought her down himself, so she felt that they were meant for each other. And one day there was a party held in the hotel, and it was a very important party, and our son asked our daughter to come check, but she was late, so he stood waiting for her impatiently until she came in at 10 and she was laughing. But unfortunately, she came out laughing at Jungkook, not him, so he got upset of course and kept walking, sticking to him throughout the party, to the point that one of the people there thought she was his girlfriend. But he told her no, she just helped me get a membership in the hotel, so I am grateful to her. And then she started talking about our daughter and said to her, "Do you look like one of them, or what? Are you trying to find a rich groom?" Even our son's fiance started talking to him until that slutty girl said to her, "Since you work here, go get me something to drink." She left, embarrassed by the situation, and said to herself that she has to marry Young to get out of this situation, and that no one would talk to her like that again. So she brought her a mint chocolate, and she threw it at her and said, "What is this filth? I don't like chocolate." She was about to fall on her back. She grabbed her, and they fell together. Of course, I yelled at her and humiliated her. Instead of helping our daughter, the animal, whose name is Gong, extended his hand to the stupid girl who was bothering her and said to her, "Sorry, she will definitely clean your clothes." Our daughter felt betrayed after what he did, and then he brazenly reached out to our daughter. Our son Jay slapped her hand, pushed her away, got down on his knee, and said to her, "By the way, I like mint chocolate." Everyone was shocked, as if he was confessing his love to her. His fiancé hit him with a pen, but despite that, he did not care about his response. He dressed our daughter in his jacket, took her, and entered his office. He said to her, "Why didn't you respond to them? You only get to yell and scream at me and let them make fun of you." She said to him, "Because I know I was wrong, so it's not a problem. I should have apologized." But he said to her, "Of course not. No one has the right to yell at you but me. I'm the only one who annoys you, so I'll know how to make it up to you." But she was surprised why he suddenly became so nice. She said to him, it would be better for him to go to his fiancée, because she is definitely upset with him now, since he cared about someone else. In the bathroom, Gong the animal entered and said to him, "Why do you care? Why do you care about her? Someone like us shouldn't be associated with someone like her." So he told him, "It's none of your business. This is my business. Then, talk about her in a nice way." Gong wanted to know if he cared about her out of pity or love, so he approached him and said, "Do you admire her? God forbid, it's not possible that you refused to help her and came to ask me if I loved her or not. If you were a man, whatever you say." He remained silent, angry, and remembered when his girlfriend left him and went to a richer man, and at that time, he felt deeply broken, but he would not let what happened in the past happen again. I mean, a toxic kid will get on our daughter's nerves, and that's it. As for our daughter, she went out to apologize to the girl for falling out with her, but the girl was coughing and said to her, "Why are you apologizing? You didn't do anything. I really pushed you." But that's how poor people like you usually do. They apologize for anything they didn't do in order to get over it. But someone like me would never apologize because I was never like you. Our daughter felt that she really had no place in this world, and her eyes welled up with tears until our son saw her and asked her what was wrong. She told him this world is really cruel. I thought I would come here and change my life, but everything here is much worse than the life I was living. He said to her, "So what if I fulfilled your dream? What would you do?" He asked her to close her eyes if she wanted to achieve her dream. So she put her hand on him, and then people looked and found him coming closer to kiss her. Then they went out together, holding hands, and she was wondering why he was doing this, even though he told her before that he hates her. But he said to her, "Who told you that I hate you? I'm doing this because I don't hate you or anything, and I want to achieve your dream." So she felt that he was pitying her, and of course she didn't want his pity and left him and walked. Then he said to her, "You have the hotel visa, take a taxi, don't go like this." So she said to him, "Okay, by God, I will take the most expensive taxi." And the next day she went to the hotel, and she was embarrassed, and when she saw him she was avoiding him. But he said to her, "I think there is no need to avoid each other. It is just a kiss." So when she found that he was not interested, she said to him, "You are right, I'm making a big deal out of it. I will consider myself 8 sea intestines, and that's it." Then she started doing her work very normally until she found the animal Gong coming. She tried to treat him like a bartender and poured him tea, but she spilled it on herself. He acted like a nice person, took the ice, and put it on her hand. She naively forgot to tell him to come to her studio, so he said to her, "What do you think about coming to my studio?" She actually agreed to go, and he also brought her a hairpin as a gift and put it in her hair. She was happy because she thought that this way he started to care about her. She didn't know that he was just trying to nourish our son and challenge him, so she went to our son's office to tell him what happened. He said to her, "Are you stupid or what? Why don't you tell me that you're really going to the studio?" She said to him, "Yes, go. What you did made me different. This was our plan, right? But before I go, I want to make sure of something first. I have to try kissing you again because I suspect something, and if it turns out to be true, we'll be in trouble." He said to her, "Are you crazy or what? What do you want to make sure of?" She said to him, "Don't be afraid. There's no one here but us, so it's better to close your eyes." She looked like she wanted to make sure whether she loved him or not, but he refused because he didn't want to try this again. She said to him, "You turned out to be really scared. What are you afraid of?" He said to her, "Look, you go to the studio and that's it." She was surprised. Was he really trying to send her to Jung after he used to tell her it was impossible for her to go? He said to her, "No, of course I won't let you go like that." She said, "Thank God he has chivalry." He just took her to the room where there were a lot of clothes, so she could pick out something nice to go to him in. "Do you believe you're Ariel? I was still thanking you." Anyway, after she chose her clothes, she went to Young Toxic. He had prepared food for her and sat talking to her about his achievements. He asked her, "Do you love drawing, right? Why don't you do what you love?" She said to him, "Because I wasn't born into an environment that would allow me to achieve my ambitions. I need to work a lot to make money. You will almost never understand what I mean." He said to her, "No, I understand. What you mean is that I'm a person who was born into a wealthy environment, and it is natural for me to practice my hobbies and be a successful and famous person, but I want us to work together." He suddenly got up and brought a book, and he told her, "I want you to draw my comic, and I will show it to her." She didn't agree at first because she doesn't know how to make up stories, and it would be weird, but he acted confident, and so she said to him, "You know, my boss always tells me to follow my dream. I almost need to listen to him." So he pulled her chair and said to her, "You are not allowed to mention your boss while you are with me." And suddenly, he came close to kiss her, so she remembered when our son came close to her, but suddenly, they heard the sound of someone's stomach growling, so he got scared, and his brother came out hiding behind the couch and said to him, "You always don't answer me." So I said, "I will come to you myself." And then he tried to walk him and said to him, "Didn't I give you money? Go ahead and walk." But he said, "It's done. Is there something in you that stays the same?" And he suddenly decided to disgrace him in front of our daughter. "Or do you know the one in front of you is lying to me? You weren't born with a gold pendant or anything. He is just a normal person." And he got to this point by writing the novel plus 18. But until now, he is embarrassed to say that he wrote it. Our daughter told him, "It is very shameful that you are doing this to him. What does it mean when you write a novel like this? You are supposed to be proud of your brother or try to succeed like him instead of being a failure and following him everywhere for money." So Jung kicked him out. And then he told her, "You should go too. I disappointed you today." But she told him the opposite. "You should be proud of yourself. You didn't do anything wrong." Then she left. Our son was watching her as she was going down and called her, but she didn't answer, so he pretended. The next day at the hotel, she was upset because Jung had been laughing at her all this time and didn't turn out to be rich. She found our son coming to tease her and said to her, "What did you do yesterday?" She told him, "It is none of your business that I tell you something personal. Why are you my manager?" He was surprised because he thought they were close to each other, so he hoped to talk to her, but she was suffocating, so she vented all her anger on him. That night, she finished her work and was going to meet her friend, but suddenly, 2 men appeared and tried to kidnap her. She sprayed spray in their faces, but the idiot hit her eye instead of hitting them. They threw her into the car like a sack of rice while she was being kidnapped. Her friend got worried and went to the hotel. She met our son there and told him that she was looking for our daughter, but he told her that she had left a while ago. She was surprised because if she had left, she would have been there long ago. As for our daughter, she was negotiating with those who kidnapped her so that they would not kill her. She told them that she has no father or mother, so they will not find anyone to ask for money from. They told her, "Don't worry, we want to take your organs, nothing more." She told them, "By God, even my organs are not healthy. I drink and smoke." They told her, "Frankly, we brought you to take revenge on you." They went out to ask for food so that they would kill her on an empty stomach. She said to Ally, "What is the one who?" On her phone, she quickly called the police, but she decided to leave and called the last person she spoke to, who was her friend. When she answered, she said to her, "I have been kidnapped. Help me." Of course, our son was sitting next to her, so he said to her calmly, "Try to explain to me where you are, and I will come to you." He went out like a madman to catch up with her, and what was on his mind was nothing but the scene of his kidnapping when he was little. When he arrived, he tickled them every step of the way and ran to hug her. Then, she decided to take revenge on them, because they kidnapped her for the sake of their niece Dana, who is our son's fiancé. They just wanted to teach her a lesson, but our daughter decided to cut one of them's eyebrows because he said she looked ugly. Then, she went with our son in the car and said to him, "Why did you save me? Didn't I tell you to stop interfering in my life? Besides, I treated you badly." He said to her, "I can't leave you in a situation like this." When he reached her home, she went down and found her father's wife and children waiting for her because she had caused a disaster. It turned out that the doctor she had gone to took money from in order to, she gave him the ring. He was a swindler who was laughing at her sister. He wanted to get engaged to any doctor, and as soon as he saw someone better than her father's wife, he went to her immediately. They started a fight until her father's wife hit her with a pen. She took her things to leave because she felt she no longer had a place here. She went to a small country house, but unfortunately, it was very cold. She was sleeping, dying from the cold. Even when she got up to wash her face and go to work, the water was cut off. She cursed her bad luck. It was impossible for life to be so against her. Of course, this made her late for work. When she arrived at the hotel, she was running. She was tired, so she found our son teaching the employees how to defend themselves. He asked her, "Why did you come late?" She told him that she was transferred to another city, but he was surprised because he had dropped her off yesterday. But she told him what happened and that she was expelled, so she had to walk. She told him that you are making a big deal out of it. Just because she was kidnapped yesterday means that they will all be kidnapped. He told her that the world does not revolve around you, the center of the universe. She said that as long as he is teaching them, then she should go and learn too. She changed her clothes, but they were intending to hit each other, and that was it until Jung came and said to her with all impudence, "We had a lot of fun in the studio, so I came to see you and asked to talk to her for a while." She went with him, and it turned out that he wanted to be engaged to her because when she defended him, he became bigger in his eyes. But she was surprised because he was supposed to change his life and be engaged to someone of a higher standard, but he was determined to stay with our daughter. She asked to think a little, and then our son came and wanted to know what the conversation was about. She told him what happened, and she saw how he asked me officially, and it turned out that he was a man. She was trying to get him because she was waiting for him to take action like him and ask her to make an official promise. But he told her, "He laughs at me, and you are an idiot, and you believe him, and then I won't let you promise that animal." And he suddenly approached her, but he lost the speech and was no longer able to say to her. So she said to him, "I am tired of you. Come spend the night with me in the country house. I will do a test. Then we will see if you will be able to accept me with my chaotic life or not." But when they arrived there, he was trying to like the place so that you wouldn't think he is racist. But at bedtime, he was going to sleep next to her, but there was only one blanket, and the weather was cold. So he said to her, "No, I can't get up. Let's go to my house. It's better." So she didn't believe him and went with him because she was tired of sleeping here yesterday. And when they arrived at his house, she was shocked how big and beautiful it was. So she went in to take a hot shower. But Hani is a failure. She didn't know how to turn off the water until the bathtub suddenly started to leak water. So he turned it off while she was inside. But when he looked into her eyes, he slipped and took her and fell to the ground. So she kissed him by mistake. "Oh, you disgraced the black woman." And after she came out of the bathroom, she found her sister talking to her, apologizing and telling her to go back home. She said to our son, "Thank you," and that she would go back home again. But he refused and suddenly pulled her by the prince, which was going to open up and become a scandal. He quickly tied her up and apologized to her and said to her, "I just wanted you to stay because we agreed that we would spend the night here today." She told him that they wanted to make up with her, so she had to go back before they changed their minds. The next day at the hotel, they had created an atmosphere to celebrate Christmas, and they waited for our son to come so they could turn on the lights on the tree. When he came with his fiancée, they turned on the lights, and our daughter was amazed because she loves the Christmas tree. As for our son, he was standing looking at her, and she was happy. Then, his fiancée was sitting alone, looking at our daughter angrily until the naughty girl who had bullied her before came and said to our son's fiancée, "How are you still? She let her work here, and why didn't you fire her until now?" She acted kindly and said to her, "What should I do? I can't do something like that." Then the precious girl called her and said to her, "Are you still working here, you idiot?" She said to her, "Yes, because I didn't do anything wrong." Then she found tea on the floor so our daughter could go get something to wipe it with, so she tried to control her nerves and went to get something to wipe the floor. But this girl went too far and spilled more tea and said to her, "Aren't you ashamed while you're trying to steal the attention of rich men like Chow Min and Jung? You're someone who has a position, and it's best to clean up the mess that I make." So our daughter remembered our son's words when he said to her, "When someone bothers you, respond to him, don't keep quiet." So she decided to actually respond to her and said to her, "I kept quiet, but you got carried away, and today he might have committed a crime." So the girl got scared and got up quickly, and at that moment, it was Jung was standing. So she went and grabbed him, but he removed her hands and said to her, "You brought this on yourself because you are trying to bully her, not to mention that she didn't didn't even try to draw attention to me. Look, I am the one who admires her." She ran after her, and all the employees covered their mouths, happy for her. As for our son, he was standing far away, upset by his confession. Then she went to tell our two sons that she did not like Young. She was going to confess to him, but he decided to bring out his toxic side at the wrong time and said to her, "So you're playing with his feelings? It is better to treat him well." She got upset because she was expecting another reaction from him, but she decided to keep her boundaries with him. In the bathroom, our son was standing washing his hands, and Young was provoking him and saying, "She is now mine. I say focus on your fiancé now, and better luck next time." But our son got angry because of his behavior and fell on his face, and they started hitting each other like children outside until people gathered around them, so our daughter ran away. He hit him on the head. There was a strange woman who hit Young on the head. He screamed and said to her, "Why are you hitting me? I am your manager." And when she entered the office behind him, he told her, "You are supposed to defend me. I'm the one who pays your salary." But she told him, "Aren't you the one who told me to take care of Young? Why is he upset now?" But he wanted her to do the opposite and not take care of Young, even if he told her to take care of him. So she became confused because of his toxic way and did not like being next to him. Then, while our daughter was leaving work, she met the woman who hit Young on the head, and it turned out that she was our son's mother. She wanted to talk to her a little because she had not seen her son for a long time, and of course, she left him when he was young. So, she sat down to tell her the story, and that she was Cinderella and married our son's father because she was poor. But her mother-in-law hated her, so she fabricated an accusation of treason against her, and of course, she was kicked out of the house and had to abandon her son, and this made her leave him against her will. So, our daughter decided to reunite them and took our son to a cafe to leave him. He met her there, but he did not know. When he saw her, he was shocked. When he sat with her, she tried to justify herself to him in every way, but he refused to listen to her because of course he felt hurt because she left him at a young age, and this caused him a big crisis. So he went out crying to our daughter and said to her, "This lady does not love me. She definitely came to take advantage of me." But she told him, "The opposite is true. She loves you. Sometimes it is difficult to see the love inside us, but that does not mean that you are unable to see it, and it is not real. She really loves him." She hugged him to relieve him, so he decided to go back and sit with his mother, talk to her, and listen to her story one last time, because this would make him feel more comfortable. After he heard her story, he went out to our daughter again and said to her, "Can you hug me?" So, she hugged him again. From that moment, he decided that it is impossible for him to leave our daughter because she is the only person he has loved in his life. The next day, the two of them were going to the hotel, and they were happy. When they met outside, they acted as if they had never met before. They had been friends for a century, but suddenly, a car passed by, and in it was a little boy who was trying to spray water on them. He opened his umbrella to protect them, so she said to him, "You see, the umbrella helped us, but that's it." He told her that was because I was fast and smart, not the umbrella. She said to him, "Okay, since you are fast and smart, give me this umbrella to protect myself." He agreed and gave it to her with ease, so she said to him, "It is clear that you have become mature since you abandoned her." He lowered his head because she was waiting for her to pat him and tell him, "Smart." At night, he went to buy roses and a gift for our daughter, but unfortunately, on the way, he met his fiancée, the little girl. When she saw the roses, she got upset and said to him, "Where are you going with all these beautiful things?" He took her. They went to a quiet place for him to explain to her that he loves our daughter. So she said, "It's good that you have a weak point that I can exploit, but if you don't stay away from her, I will send her to hell and say that she kidnapped you from me, and I will get a reputation for trying to be Cinderella." Of course, he got scared, because this is the same thing that happened with his mother, Belle, when they spread rumors about her and made her leave him. So, he decided to do what his fiancée wanted, even if it would hurt himself and our daughter. The next day, he went to the hotel and told them that there was a wedding party that would be held soon. They were surprised. Whose party was this? His fiancée came and told them that it was their wedding party. Of course, our daughter was shocked. How would he marry her when he had just been with her a few hours ago? She felt that she was wrong to love him. He turned out to be laughing at her. The next day, when she and the rest of the employees went to the hotel, the door was closed, and it turned out that he had a surprise vacation. They were surprised, but they expected that he might be attending a wedding, as he was busy. But our daughter decided to go to him, the house, and talk to him a little. She wanted to tell him not to get married, "I like you," but she couldn't say it, so she told him that Young asked her to travel with him to Germany, but she found a negative response, and he told her to travel. This was not your plan and dream to marry a rich man. So she told him, "You are really an animal. I did not expect that you would appear as a playboy and play with my feelings like this." So he told her, "Come on then, I will show you the playboy is right." And he kissed her and said to her, "Is this what it means that I play with you?" So she hit him with the pen and left while crying, and she could not believe that he had become this despicable. But at night, Abu Dan, our son's fiancé, came and broke everything in the hotel over his head and said to him, "How could you make my daughter cry because of you? If it were not for the fact that she loves you, I would have buried you here long ago." One day, a package came to her house, and when she opened it, it was a drawing of our son, and he left her a message in it, and he was telling her that all his life he saw her as a warrior and not Cinderella, because a strong and kind person who was able to change a lot of things around her, including the people she loves. She kept crying because it made her wake up to the truth, and the truth is that when she was little, she always wanted to be Cinderella, who would grow up and find the warrior prince who would save her. But in reality, she grew up and became that prince and started fighting for herself. Simply put, you are the only person who can save yourself, no one else. She washed her face and looked at herself in a new way, feeling that she did not need a prince to save her because she was always used to saving herself. Suddenly, she received a call from her colleague at the hotel who works with her. He told her that he did not go on vacation or anything. The hotel was closed because of money, and they will open something else instead. She was shocked and asked him, "What will Ashman do?" He told her, "Let's think about our predicament, and we cannot find work now." But she decided to go to the hotel because she saw what happened and found the world dark, but heard a voice, so she thought it was a thief and brought a stick to hit him with it. But it turned out to be our son. So she said to him, "Did not you say it was you?" So he said to her, "Did you give me a chance anyway?" And of course, before he spoke or said anything, she said to him, "I admire you." But he was surprised and said to her, "But now I am broke and I have nothing to give you." So she said to him, "It doesn't matter. I love you because you made me see myself in a different way and love it. So that's why I want to stay with you. And besides, I'm also broke. So let's live this life together and try in it as much as we can." So he approached her and told her that he loves her, even though the matter took a long time. But he admired her from the first time he saw her because she was different from anyone he had met before. And he went to show her the ring because when he came looking for it, he forgot it. And this was the ring he bought before he went bankrupt to give it to her and propose to her. And then she took it with her to the house so that he could live with her, her stepmother and her sisters. And honestly, they were very welcoming to him and slept together in the same room like lovers. But they woke up the next day sleeping randomly, unlike the day before, sleeping in a civilized way. For breakfast, the whole family was gathered and prepared food for him. But he did not like this food, but he ate it with pleasure so that her sister would not need it. She made the food herself. One day, our daughter was looking for a job, and by chance, she found a man talking to her and telling her that he wanted to work with her to draw his comic strip. So she felt that the world had finally smiled at her. So she called our son to tell him the news and went to meet him, and she was happy. As for him, he brought her flowers, and life between them was 100%. For a while, our daughter was able to achieve her dream and become a working woman and draw successful comics, and even our son was able to return to his hotel. In the end, do not let anyone he laughs at you, and follow your happiness and know that you are the main character in your life. So create your own story, and then misery will be just a page in your life, and the villain will be a secondary character and nothing more. And in the end, you will live a happy life. And with this, we have reached the end of our summary, and I hope you liked it. Don't forget to share your opinion with me in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so that our sweet family grows more. Bye.